Tag, willkommen zu meinen Predictions for the Bundesliga. Matchday Nummer something. I don't know what it is, but anyway, we're going to go, folks. Hopefully you got your predictions ready. Let's kick it on right now like Donkey Kong. That's right, folks, back once again with another set of Bundesliga predictions, and we'll get to those in just 1 second. And if you are new to the channel, where have you been, folks? Smash your subscribe button, keep your bang up to date with all things Bundesliga related, Blackburn Rovers related. Whoa, football, we've got all here. Noah Ruski, that's right. Obviously, last weekend we saw the return of the Bundesliga from their nice cushy little winter break. And my boys, München Gladbach, what you doing to me? Could not muster a big fat win. Anyway, folks, if you have this is your first time to the channel, welcome. If you are not, if you're a regular viewer, welcome back. I want to bring you up to a bit of updates behind the scenes. Obviously, last weekend, I think I may have announced, but if I didn't, I'm going to tell you now. 2 new Patreons to the gang, boys. 2 new Patreons, that's right. Tom Clark and Thomas Beresford joins the ledge, John Spurn, as Patreons for the channel. If you want to become a patron for the channel, there is a link down below. You get access to all kinds of stuff. You get my secret cooking recipes. You get my secret hair growing techniques. You get whatever. I don't know. There are some perks and privileges on there. I am actually going to revisit it at some point whenever the season kind of quiets down a bit. But yeah, it does give me extra motivation to know that people appreciate the content. So if you want to check out the link, there is a link down below. It's patreon.com/roverseas. But anyway, regardless of that, let's kick it on and take a little look at how we all got on last weekend in La Bundesliga, shall we? So these are the criteria I'm going to judge you and I'm going to judge myself on. 0 to 3, you're in the shit-faced gang. 4 to 5, you're in the straight-faced club. 6+, you're in the top banana. So these are the results. I did call it, though. Schalke did beat Mönchengladbach. I was hoping for something else. Wagner's boys doing bits. 4-2 win I went with for Schalke. I saw it online. But what about the next game? Augsburg against Borussia Dortmund. Let's talk about that for a second, shall we? Augsburg, were they 3-0 up in that game? 3-0 up. Let me have a look. I've got to bring it up on my pad here. 3-0 up for Augsburg. Where were the goals? What time were the goals? Bish bash bosh. No, they weren't. They weren't 3-0 up. They were 3-1 up. They were 3-1 up. And then up steps Haaland, the most touted youngster in European football, from the bench. 20-minute hat-trick. Gets himself not only level, but to take it 5-3 in the end. What a way to come into it. Sancho as well, get himself a goal. Julian Brandt, the other one, to make it 5-3. What a turnaround. And what a signing he could be. If that's the sort of stuff they're going to get week in, week out, you know what? Give him the Bundesliga. That's right. But anyway, so Dortmund did beat Augsburg 5-3 in the end. I'm on a 3-1 win for myself on this one. Köln did beat, Köln did beat Wolfsburg 3-1. I went with a 1-1 draw. Hoffenheim lost at home to Eintracht Frankfurt. 2-1, I went 2-1 the other way. Düsseldorf lost to Werder Bremen 1-0. I went with a 2-1 win for Düsseldorf. Mainz lost to Freiburg. They got back to winning ways once again. 2-1 was the final score. I went with a 1-0 win. Leipzig did beat Union Berlin 3-1. I went with a 3-0. And Bayern did beat Klinsmann's Hertha Berlin 4-0 in the end. I went with a 3-1 myself. And then wrapping it all up with a Dicky Bow. Bayer Leverkusen did beat Paderborn 4-1. I went with a 2-0 win as well, which brings my tally up to 2, 4, 6 for the thing, which means I'm in the top banana, boys. Who's with me in the top banana? I think there's actually quite a lot of you guys with me this time. So Newton Abbey, you're also, I'm not going to do a round of applause because I'll do a general round of applause at the end. Newton Abbey, top banana. Adia Petra, top banana. Mohammed Ahmed did okay for himself. DJT Flames, not too shabby. Johnny talks football. Does he talk football? He does talk football. Look at that, top banana for him. Okay, did absolutely stonking. I don't know where that came from. Terrible. Take yourself to the cleaners. Cody Cahoe, not too shabby. Nathan Heaver, also not too bad. Narin Kadanka did okay for himself. Ultra Omamura, not too shabby. Christian 04 did okay for himself. Mohamed Nuru, top banana as well. Welcome to the top banana, boys. Imagine Monday with an okay. Yannick Basler, he did okay. He did top banana. I'm all over the place. And we are QPR, not too shabby. But you guys with the top banana, round of applause. That's you and me. Yeah, we're up there. I just squeaked in. with enough to get in there. Some of you guys did really well. I think this guy here got 9 out of 10 or something, or 8 out of 9. Did very, very good. Very, very good. Oh, let's kick it on, folks, and have a look at what the table looks like right now. So Leipzig are the leaders by 4 points. Could this be their year? They've obviously been building something over the past few years. Not a lot of people like them in Germany, unless you're Leipzig fans. From an outside point of view, you know what? I think it's quite refreshing to see something like this. And yeah, they've come out of nowhere, but this could be their year. This could be their year. Bayern, though, 4 points away. They're not going to give up just yet. Gladbach, they will fade. They're my boys. Of course, with Dortmund, well, they might kick on with Haaland and maybe some more transfers. And I wouldn't even rule out Schalke at this stage. But let's get going, folks, and take a little look at the next round of matches. We're going to kick it all off with those hotly tipped or hotly talked about Borussia Dortmund up against Köln this weekend. Bit of a localish kind of affair. The last 6 between the two sides: 3 wins for Dortmund, 3 draws, 0 wins for Köln. The last time they did play earlier in the campaign on the 23rd of August. It was a 3-1 win for Dortmund. The goals coming from Sancho, Achraf Hakimi, Paco Alcázar, Dominic Drexler with the one and only goal for Köln. Köln have actually won their last 4 matches in the Bundesliga, so they're on a nice bit of form, but Borussia Dortmund are actually undefeated in their last 9 matches heading into this. Let's take a look at the bookmakers' odds on this one. 27 to 100 on for Dortmund, 24 to 5 is the draw, 10 to 1 is the away win. Köln on the flip side, where are they on the table? 13th right now. Like I said, 4 wins on the spin for them. A win again this weekend against these bad boys would not only be a surprise, but we'll see them get 3 points and go up to 10th. Maybe, depending on goal difference. Dortmund on the flip side, chance for them to go second with a win against Dortmund. Goal difference required, though. They need a good goal swing to leapfrog Bayern into second spot. So they're probably likely to be third at the end of this game, should it go their way. Going to go with a 3-0 win for myself on this one. That's with Haaland in the mix as well. I think he might get a goal as well in front of the home faithful. Obviously, his new home faithful. It's going to be at least 2 years, boys, before he goes somewhere else. So roll it. It's going to be 2 and a bit years. I'd say 2 and a bit years he'll be at Dortmund before he makes a move to maybe a Premier League club or a La Liga club. So, enjoy it, Dortmund, because this, I don't think he will do enough for you to win the title this year, but I think if he can continue what he does and score goals, I think next year they'll be right back in the thick of things, as you do. Next up, we have Eintracht Frankfurt. Where are you? There you are. Up against Leipzig this weekend. The last 6 between two sides: 1 win for Frankfurt, 2 wins for Leipzig, 3 draws along the way. They have played in Leipzig earlier in the season. It was a 2-1 win back in August. Timo Werner and Yusuf Poulsen with the goals for Leipzig. Gonzalo Palencia, the one and only goal for Frankfurt. The last time they played in Frankfurt was a 1-1 draw back in 2008. Goals as well from Emil Forsberg from the spot for Leipzig and Gelson Fernandes for Frankfurt. Bookmakers odds on this one: 16 to 5 for Frankfurt, 3 to 4 on for Leipzig. 16 to 5 is the draw. Look at the table. Frankfurt struggling at the moment in 11th spot. Just a 1 win in the past 6. That was last time out. Leipzig on the flip side, 5 wins at the past 6, and that other one was a draw. So they're looking decent at the moment. It's probably to take the 3 points and looking very good for the title. I'm going with a 2-2 draw. I just think, you know what? They can't win them all. They're going to drop some points along the way. I don't see them losing this game. It'll either be a win or a defeat. A win. It will either be a win or a draw. I just feel there's some banana skins along the way. They might get a bit too cocky, a bit too advanced with themselves, and it'll give a new chance or an opportunity for the chasing pack to close the door. You know what? That's just my vibe. That's my vibe. There's no scientific reasoning behind it. I just think that there's a banana skin along the way, and this one is it for Leipzig. Anyway, moving forward, a team that's also doing okay, but needs a recent response is Wolfsburg up in 9th, up against Hertha Berlin. Klinsmann's Berlin. That's one of my heroes is Klinsmann. Like to see him do well. They duke it out this time out. Let's take a look at the last 6 between two sides. 2 wins for Wolfsburg, 1 win for Berlin, 3 draws along the way. They played in Berlin earlier in the season. It was a 3-0 win for Wolfsburg. The last time they played in Wolfsburg was back in 2018. It was a 2-2 draw with Yunus Mali and Admir Mehmedi scoring for Wolfsburg. Yavio Dolson and Odrej Duda getting the goals for Berlin back in the day. Let's have a look at the bookmakers' odds on this one. They go with 6-5 on for Wolfsburg, 30-5 the draw. 10-3 is the away win for Klinsmann's bad boys. Let's have a look at the table heading into this. Berlin's form is okay. Obviously, they did lose last time out. Before that was 4 games unbeaten. So realistically, the winter break came at a really bad time for Berlin. They were playing well. They were winning games, getting points on the board. But obviously, the return of the Bundesliga last week has saw them go back to the grind and losing games. As for Wolfsburg on the flip side, I think, again, you would. It's actually not great form for Wolfsburg. 4 defeats in the past 6. But a win for them this week could see them rise to 8th. A win for Berlin could see them rise potentially up to 11th in the table. It's a tight one. It's a very, very tight one. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw on this one. Can't separate the two sides on this one. I know the table suggests a different matter with a good few spots between the two sides. But Wolfsburg not really playing well. Hertha Berlin, hot and cold. It'll be a good away point for them, I think, in the grand scheme of things. Next up, we have my boys, Mönchengladbach, up against Mainz. I think this is a game they need right now, and it's a chance for them to get back to winning ways, and again, to get themselves potentially into the Champions League talk. The last 6 between the two sides, 4 wins for Gladbach, 2 wins, 2 draws, 0 wins for Mainz. They played in Mainz earlier in the season. It was a 3-1 win for Mönchengladbach with goals from Stefan Lehner, Alassane Pli, and Breel Mbolo. The one and only goal for Mainz was Robin Quaison to open up the scoring, actually, on that occasion. Mönchengladbach actually scored at least 2 goals in the last 7 home matches, and they've won their last 7 home matches, period, heading into this. Bookmakers odds on this one, they'll go with Gladbach 52 to 100 on for Mönchengladbach, 10 to 5 on, really. 7 to 2 is the draw, 24 to 5 the long shot for Mainz. Mainz come into 15th in the table, a win for them, could see them rise to 11th. A win for Mönchengladbach in 3rd, could see them rise potentially to 2nd. That's as high as they can go, but they could possibly drop. Mönchengladbach could drop from 3rd to 5th if other results go against them this week. So, this is the game I think they were looking, they needed. Obviously, 1 win in the past 4 for Mönchengladbach. Heading into this, Mainz on the flip side, 1 win out of 5 as well. Back-to-back defeats for them. So it's a good time for Mönchengladbach to be playing them. It's still going to be tight. I'm going to give it 2. It's not going to be a demolition, but they'll just nick it, and that will get them back to winning ways and hopefully get the positivity back at the club. Next up, we have, what do we have? We have Union Berlin up against Augsburg. I've been very, very surprised with Union Berlin. They're 12th at the moment, but they've hit a real rough patch. 1 win in the past 6 for them. Actually, 3 defeats on the spin. Up against the Augsburg side, who also back-to-back defeats for them. But before those 2 defeats, they were on a nice little run themselves. 3 points separated two sides. Union Berlin in 12th. A win for them could see themselves leapfrog Augsburg into 10th. But a win for Augsburg could see them rise to 9th above Wolfsburg, depending on what goes on elsewhere. Let's have a look at the last 5 matches between the two sides. 4 draws at the last 5 and 1 win for Augsburg. That win for Augsburg back in 2010 in Augsburg. The last time they played in Berlin was back in 2011. It was a 0-0 draw. In fact, the past 2 occasions they played in Union Berlin, it has been a 0-0 draw. Will it be a 3-peat? I'll tell you in just a second. Union Berlin have actually lost the last 3 home matches and conceded at least 2 goals in those last 3 matches as well. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win. I'm going to give it to Union Berlin just to break the hoodoo and end a winless run against Augsburg and take the 3 points and give themselves a bit of a boost. I like to see them stick around for at least another season in the Bundesliga. Next up, we have Freiburg up against Paderborn. Again, this is just the right time for Freiburg. Because they were doing so well, weren't they? They were doing so well up there. But they did win the last match, and they also did pick up a draw the game before that. But before the international break, they had a 5-game winless run, or at least four of the last 5 games before the international break or winter break, whatever it is. They didn't manage a win, so they went from Champions League contenders down to mid-table obscurity at the moment. But a win against a struggling Paderborn side could see Freiburg bounce back into the Europa League spots and give himself a monstrous boost. Win for Paderborn, though, on the flip side, could see them rise above Fortuna Düsseldorf and also give themselves a new lease of life for potential Bundesliga survival. It's very fine margins down the bottom of the table. The last 6 between the two sides, 3 wins for Freiburg, 2 wins for Paderborn, 1 draw along the way. They did play in Paderborn earlier in the campaign. It was a 3-1 win for Freiburg. The last time they played in Freiburg was back in 2015 in the Zweite Bundesliga. It was a 4-1 win. Niels Petersen, who is now, I believe, I think, let me just Google him a second. I think Niels Petersen is in the German fold now. Let me have a quick search. Is he actually a German international? Yeah, he's now getting caps. He's now getting caps for Germany. He's got 2 caps for his name. as a striker, but he was playing in the Zweite Bundesliga for Freiburg back in 2015. Scoring goals, scored a hat-trick as well against Paderborn. Vincenzo Garifo, the 4th goal for Freiburg. Kalahad Nari, the one and only goal for Paderborn. The bookmakers' odds on this one, they go with 11-8 on for Freiburg. 16-5 is the draw. 10-3 is the away win. Yeah, they're coming at the right time, this game. I'm going to give it to Freiburg, 2-0 win, and again, get themselves back in the conversation for Europa League spots. Next up, we have Bayern up against Schalke. Difficult one, this one really is. Obviously, Bayern settling on a caretaker manager to the end of the season, and then I believe it will be Pochettino coming on in to take over the reins as manager in the summer. That's my vibe. That's my vibe. I know a lot of Premier League clubs still believe that he's going to Manchester United and all this kind of stuff. I'm thinking Pochettino's off to Bayern. You heard it here first, folks. I guess the Schalke side are reborn under Wagner. Obviously, last season, Schalke struggled big time and they even threatened with the drop on a few occasions. But they're in the mix this time, and a win for Schalke this weekend could get them up to second in the table. Obviously, goal difference needed. A win for Bayern could close the gap to just 1 point towards the top. Heading into this. The last 6 between the two sides has been 6 wins out of 6 for Bayern. Will they make it 7 out of 7? Well, we'll have a little look. They did play in Schalke earlier in the campaign. It was a 3-0 win for Bayern. Lewandowski with an hat-trick. The last time I played in Bayern was a 3-1 win as well. Lewandowski, Sergi Gnabry, and a big fat OG from Jeffrey Burma. The one and only goal from Schalke the last 2 occasions was Ahmed Kuntunku. Bayern have actually won 17 of the last 20 home matches in the Bundesliga, but Schalke are undefeated in 9 of the last 10 matches in the Bundesliga as well. Bookmakers' odds on this very, very difficult game. 6-1 on for Bayern. Red hot favourites according to the bookmakers. 7-1 is the draw. 14-1 is the away win for Schalke. As much as I want to see a Schalke win, I'm going to go with a 6-goal barnstormer in favour of Bayern, and that will put them very, very close to the top of the table. And hopefully they'll be looking at the Leipzig thing up there. That would open up a real can of worms for this bad boy. Next up, we have Werder Bremen up against Hoffenheim. Werder Bremen do need a win. They are in the playoff relegation spot at the moment. The playoff spot you don't want to be in, the relegation one, that's right. Up against the Hoffenheim side, who are in 8th spot. They're just treading water at the moment. They could make a late strike for Europa League action. We'll have to wait and see. 2 wins at the past 3 for Hoffenheim, whereas Werder Bremen, they did win last time out, but before that was 4 games losing streak. The last 6 are between two sides, 2 wins for Werder Bremen, 2 draws, and 2 wins for Hoffenheim. They played in Hoffenheim earlier in the campaign. It was a 3-2 win, 5-goal barnstormer in favour of Hoffenheim. Goals from Ermin Bakacic, Ilyas Bubu, and Pavel Karandagebek. That's easy for you to say. And Nicholas Fuglung, Yuya Osako getting the goals for Werder Bremen. Jonas Eggstein getting himself sent off on that occasion. Last time they played in Hoffenheim was a 1-0 win for Werder Bremen. Johannes Eggstein scoring on that occasion. He likes to get himself in the spotlight on these sort of days. Werder Bremen actually lost the last 3 home matches in the Bundesliga, so their home form is not the greatest. But the bookmakers' odds on this one taking place on Sunday, the 26th of January, 11-8 for Werder Bremen, 27-10 is the draw. 9-5 is the away win for Hoffenheim on this one. A win for Werder Bremen in 16th spot, could see them rise to 12th, and that will get them a little bit clear of that playoff spot. And a win for Hoffenheim in 8th, could see them rise to just the 1 spot to 7th. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Hoffenheim on this one, just to nick it. And that'll throw Werder Bremen in a bit of chaos as the season heats up once again. And finally, this match day, we have Bayer Leverkusen up against Fortuna Düsseldorf, taking place on the Sunday as well. The last 6 between the two sides, 6 wins for Leverkusen, 0 draws, 0 wins for Düsseldorf. They played in Düsseldorf earlier in the season. It was a 3-1 win for Bayer. Lewis Baker, OG, Charles Angaranganes, and Karin Bellarabi, the goals for Bayer Leverkusen. Alfredo Morales getting the 1-0 goal for Düsseldorf. And the last time they played in Leverkusen was a 2-0 win last season. Kai Havertz and Leon Bailey with the goals for Leverkusen. Fortuna Düsseldorf actually failed to win the last 8 away matches in the Bundesliga and have conceded 2 goals in 7 of the last away matches as well. So they're a bit sloppy at the back. And they've actually failed to score in 5 of the last 7 matches, period, home and away, in the Bundesliga. The bookmakers' odds on this one, they'll go Leverkusen 38-100 on for Leverkusen. 17-4 is the draw. 13-2 is the away win. A win for Düsseldorf, who are in 17th spot, could see them rise above 15th, into 15th spot, maybe above Mainz, depending on what goes on with them, and goal difference. And a win for Leverkusen, who are in 6th, could see them rise potentially into the top 4 boys at the expense of Borussia Dortmund. Whew, Woo! That is a jam-packed weekend. I'm going to go with a 3-1 win for Leverkusen, and again, get them the 3 points, and again, potentially into the reckoning for Champions League. This is what the table would look like if my predictions were to come on in. It will be Leipzig with a 2-point clearance over Bayern. Gladbach will be hot on the heels as well with a potential strike, and maybe getting top table next time out. And Dortmund also in the contention in the top 4. Leverkusen and Schalke make up the top 6. Down the bottom is Paderborn, Düsseldorf, and Werder Bremen in the old relegation dogfight, folks. That's my predictions. Make sure you get your own ones in down below, folks. We'll do it all again next time around. If you enjoyed this video, which I'm sure you must have done, you got to smash that thumbs up button, folks. If you're new to the channel, you got to smash the subscribe, and you've also got to smash the thumbs up. Yeah, that's right. And if you're wearing blue today, you got to make sure you smash the thumbs up, and also say something in the comments like, I'm wearing blue. But speaking of comments, get your predictions in nice and early, and we'll do it all again next time around, and we'll have your name in lights next time. If you also check out the old description, there is a whole plethora of links to my social media outlets. Twitter, I'm very vocal on there. Facebook, Patreon. I have a website which I need to get back into the thick of things of posting onto that website. Of course, the Patreon. Make sure you check out the Patreon, folks. If you want to support the channel in another way, that's the way to do it. Anyway, we'll do it all again very, very soon. I'll see you all again. Smash the thumbs up, smash the subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.